Hi, I'm Darren and welcome to New Factory Classics. Today we're going to break down X-Men Origins, Wolverine. Northwest Canada, mid-1800s, James is always sick and in bed, but for some reason he always gets better. Hanging out with James is his best friend Victor, who's a complete asshole. Now Victor's father arrives at the house, but he's completely drunk. Like always, he ends up getting in an argument with James' dad and straight up kills James' dad. He's going straight to jail, or as they call it in Canada, he's being sent to the penalty box. An infuriated James grows his bone claws for the first time and straight up stabs Victor's dad through the chest. But before he dies, he whispers in James' ear, letting him know that he's actually James's real father. A terrified James runs away as he just realizes he killed someone, but Victor catches up to him because he's bigger and faster. But he lets James know not to worry. They're going to run away together as they are half-brothers. And will always be friends. Forever. The brothers abandon Canada and go to the United States to seek some action. An action they find because they fight in every single war between the Civil War and Vietnam. And just like every super centurion that has been in the military for over 100 years, they begin to go a little crazy and start killing Americans too. They're sentenced to execution by firing squad, but because they're mutants, they survive. The United States doesn't know what to do and throws them in a prison. A young William Stryker shows up and he attempts to recruit them. He's forming his own super mutant team akin to the Avengers. The only difference is it's whatever mutants are left that are still licensed in the Foxverse. Let's take a minute to appreciate Wade Wilson, played by Ryan Reynolds. All he does is has a sword and he has a mouth and he can talk crap the whole time. He did as much as he could with this pre-Deadpool version of Wade Wilson. And it just goes to show you how much we should appreciate Deadpool at this point, because when you see what came out through this movie, you'll be shocked. Stryker takes his team and he's trying to find a meteor that fell from the sky. There's a type of metal on it that he needs to have. And what better way to get the information you want than by rounding up a bunch of villagers and just start killing them until they tell you exactly what you need to hear. Well, James may have joined the military to kill random people on the other side for the last 100 years, but he's not here to kill random people in an African tribe. So he packs up his bone claws, he grabs his chops, and he heads home. 6 years has passed since James quit his team of single-dimension mutants, and he decided to go back to Canada, find a quiet life in a logging town, and have a girlfriend to settle down with. Life is much more peaceful for Logan in the logging town, when really his only main villain to worry about is the Lorax. Victor, on the other hand, is not doing so well. He's going to every single mutant from his former team and killing them. And today's stop is Bolt's house. He lives in a carnival and controls machines with his mind. Unfortunately, Victor doesn't want him to be alive anymore and just straight up kills him. Life will never be merry at that carnival ever again. James' peaceful existence is ended when Stryker comes back into his life, who randomly starts calling him Logan. There's no explanation why he's called Logan, but he's called Logan, and that's how he will be referred to for the rest of the movie. So he tells Logan now that Victor's going around and killing all the members of their former team. But James has no desire to get involved with that crap and tells Stryker to screw off. James wants to go back to his peaceful life, and he begins to do so. Unfortunately for him, Victor shows up and murders his girlfriend. And just like the Fox and the Hound, it looks like their friendship is about to be tested. The two brothers get into a fight in a bar, which is made out of a barn, which is how I imagine most things are in Canada. Like when you go to the supermarket, it's a barn, or when you go to the hospital, it's a barn, or when you go to the barn, it's a barn. Now, Victor beats the absolute crap out of his little half-brother and just leaves him to lay there and think about how his life is going. Stryker shows back up and tells Logan that he has the ability to help him, to give him the weapons he needs to take out Victor. Now let's go back to Alkali Lake, birthplace of the Wolverine, deathplace of Cyclops, deathplace of Jean Grey, deathplace of a future Stryker, and birthplace of Jean Grey version 2.0 Crazy Edition. It turns out that Stryker finally found that meteorite he was looking for, and it had a metal called adamantite. He's going to liquefy it and attach it to James' bones, making him the Wolverine. While undergoing his surgery, he overhears that they plan on wiping his memory. So, once he gets enough strength, he wakes up in a killing rage, killing every single person in his way, and escaping the facility naked. A naked Wolverine runs across northern Canada until he's taken in by an elderly couple at a farm. They give him clothes, they give him food, they give him their motorcycle that they didn't use anymore. Wolverine is finally given a moment of peace. They are promptly shot and executed. Stryker's men are here to hunt Logan and execute the elderly, and they're all out of elderly. They chase Logan through the forest, but he ends up killing about 7 men, a Humvee, and even flies through the air and destroys a helicopter. And finally, he takes out Stryker's main man, Zero. Luckily for Wolverine, every time they shot at him, burned him, or hit him with something, they only got him in the face and the hands, so his clothes remain untouched. Scared that they've made the ultimate killing machine, Stryker has his main scientist create a handgun that can shoot adamantite bullets. It might be the only way for them to defend themselves if Wolverine comes for them. Logan needs to find out where Stryker is heading to. He knows he's going to the island, but he's not sure where that is. So he goes to find his old friend Wraith from his team. Blob has more information about the island, but he won't just give it up. So Logan and Cowboy Will.i.am team up to beat up a depressed Beast Man until he gives them the information that they want. It turns out that Stryker is trying to create his own super mutant, so he has been going around the world kidnapping mutants with powers that he wants and locking them away to do experiments on them. Next up, Stryker with a gun and Victor break into a high school and kidnap a blind kid. Logan and Wraith get it started in here. And by get it started in here, I mean they head to New Orleans to find the only mutant that ever escaped the island. It turns out that it's Gambit, but it's played by Taylor Kitsch and not Channing Tatum, so let's just move on. Wraith sneaks away and tries to fight Victor on his own, and he gets killed immediately. It looks like he's headed back to the Black Eyed Peas, never to be seen in the Foxverse again. Wolverine and Victor get into another fight, but this time he's got his adamantite claws, and he's straight up about to kill Victor, until Victor is for some reason saved by Gambit. Yes, Gambit has saved the life of his former captor. It seems that he has a new mutant ability, Stockholm Syndrome. An infuriated Wolverine gets into a fight with Gambit, and they absolutely destroy the back alleys of New Orleans, almost as bad as Katrina. Once he lost the fight, Gambit realizes that Logan is for real and agrees to fly him all the way to 3 Mile Island, where the mutants are being held and Stryker's lair exists. Stryker has almost finished Weapon 11, who has every single ability that all the mutants that he captured have, and he's combining them all into one super mutant that's capable of killing Logan, being controlled by the government, and taking the boys of Wrexham up 2 leagues. In a major twist, it's revealed that Logan's girlfriend is alive and well. It turns out that she faked her death with Victor because she was working for Stryker. His whole journey was started on a fake story. Stryker forced her to seduce Logan. She has the ability to change the emotions and force people to do what she wants when she grabs onto them. And she was being forced by Stryker to seduce Logan because Stryker had kidnapped her sister. And in full commitment to the cause, she went to Canadian college, got a teacher's degree, taught school for 6 years, learned Native American fables, and slept with a 150-year-old man. That's going the full Anna Nicole Smith. Victor and Logan get into their 117th fight for the movie, and Logan's about to win using his adamantite claws again. But he pauses. Before killing his brother, he realizes that he's not an animal. He's not just a murdering machine that can be controlled by the government. He's also a song and dance man. Wade, or Deadpool as Stryker has named him, is reactivated in order to fight Logan. And as requested, when he wakes up, he has a tattoo of the New York subway system across his body. The newly freed mutants and Logan's girlfriend, sorry, I never bothered to learn her name, are trying to escape the island. Stryker's army men are there though, and they just use the mutants as target practice. Being that it's the 1980s, there's no wars for them to do, so shooting a bunch of children seems the only way to get some action. Now, right before Deadpool is about to kill Logan, Victor shows up to save his brother. Nobody kills you but me. And maybe some friendships are forever. Unfortunately for them, he's very overpowered as he had every mutant ability that was locked in that facility, so it takes both of them to take him on. He unleashes Cyclops' laser eyes, but they end up decapitating him, and his head spins like this, falling down a building, destroying everything in sight. And just as quickly as it started, that ends the saga of Deadpool. We will never, ever, ever see Deadpool in a theater again. Please watch my full coverage of Deadpool and Wolverine releasing this July. Victor and Logan part ways. Victor deciding to change his looks completely over the next 20 years and forgetting his brother's existence. Scott and the other freed mutants are saved by Professor X, a rich bald man that arrived in a helicopter that collects homeless children. Logan is reunited with his girlfriend, but is immediately shot in the head with that adamantite bullet and loses his memory completely. He will spend the next 15 years roaming North America and just listening to grunge music. And so the story begins for our fearsome hero, sometimes called James, often called Logan, but we all know him as the Wolverine. And now I have seen it, so you don't have to. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.